Editors think their job is to add energy, but with a creator like Laura, the job is the opposite. The video has to feel effortless, or her audience starts questioning it. You can make a video technically better and still lose trust from tiny friction most editors never see. Once you spot that friction, you stop editing for editors and start editing for the viewer's brain. This edit comes from a consultation with Laura Try, who has over 200,000 subscribers. You're about to see decisions I usually charge creators $750 an hour for.
There's a lot of hype around the benefits of multi-day fasting.
Fasting is a powerful healing tool that activates our body's natural repair mechanisms.
Improves immune function.
Maximum growth hormone.
I really like how you used credibility stacking. It's like, okay, they're doctors, I can trust them, so you did that perfectly. I did have one problem though. We cut from you to this gentleman right here, Dr. Nick, and then we go to this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, and then back to Dr. Nick. When you're in an intro of a video, you never want the audience to feel like they're going backwards. You're only trying to build forward momentum. I went to this gentleman's video and I noticed he had this little graphic right here when he's talking about heart disease. This is the perfect time to hide the fact that it's the same doctor. Even though we know it's the same voice, we're not going to feel like we're going backwards by seeing the same face twice, and it feels like we're stacking credibility upwards rather than stack, 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 flat.
Preventative medicine doctor Polina did a live blood analysis before the fast.
1, 2, 3.
Looking at the health of my blood cells.
Live blood analysis implies that we're going to look at the health of your blood cells, so we don't need to repeat it. And even though it's such a short period of time, the audience's brain is just, it's almost like a scoreboard. Tick, 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 tick. Once you hit 10 ticks, they're out. So we just cut that out real quick to deliver the story more efficiently.
1, 2, 3. Let me introduce you your blood.
We're not just reducing cognitive load, we're adding a little bit of a nice, playful, punchy little jazz rhythm with the voice.
Let me introduce you your blood.
So it's got this little rhythm.
Morning, Mr. Griffin. Nice day.
It's a little cloudy.
It's absolutely cloudy. One of the worst days I've seen in years.
Once you find those moments, it's really good to amplify them. If you're an editor and you're realizing the job isn't adding more energy, it's removing the tiny friction that makes people doubt the creator, I put together a free guide called the 12 Viral Editing Secrets. It breaks down the exact trust patterns behind high-performing YouTube edits, so your cuts feel effortless to watch and clients stop second-guessing the edit. This isn't a motion graphics tutorial you forget next week. It's the human psychology underneath why an edit works at all. The link's in the description. One of my favorite parts about this whole edit are the quiet moments where we just hear the sounds of nature. Sometimes there's music, sometimes there's not. And it always came at a perfect time. It lasted a perfect amount of time. You don't really get to see that on YouTube much, and it's very nice to see. Your target audience can afford to let things slow down. They aren't looking for constant dopamine just punching you in the face, switching songs every 10 seconds. It's abusive at that point. So you've recognized this and you've done this very well. This moment can hit a little bit harder and it gives the audience just a little bit longer of a mental reset because we've delivered a lot of information for 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So let's just not start the music until the actual grand reveal of the view.
What happened as a result of doing it turned out to be great. And the juice, it was only a quarter glass.
Did you notice something off about that graphic? The first time I saw that, I said, what is she hiding? You don't want the audience to ever think that. Never. Even though you were probably just taking out some ingredient that didn't have to do with the video or that sort of thing, it looks like you're censoring something. It introduces friction in the mind of the audience. You don't want them to start questioning things. The simple fix there would be to match the color with an eyedropper, and then the skeptics are not going to be feeling like something was manipulated.
I'm going to do a self-administered colon cleanse. But don't worry, I'm not going to show you any intimate details. This machine is called Angel of Water. Weird name, I know. 3, 2, 1. I put a tube up my, oh wow.
I removed 2 things. I removed this line right here.
Weird name, I know.
And then this countdown.
3, 2.
YouTubers do it all the time. They want to build tension and that sort of thing, and it's good. But in this case, is my goal for this specific scene to build tension or to build comedy? Now you can do both, but typically I like to choose because then you can do that one really good. So instead of having the extra words and the countdown, we just get straight into the comedic wording.
This machine is called Angel of Water. I put a tube up my, oh wow.
It hits so much harder simply because the cuts are right next to each other rather than being spread out. It was hilarious.
I also wanted the other benefits of an extended fast to improve my immune system, decrease my visceral fat. Fasting could decrease the risk of chronic diseases.
When we get to shots like this, and this, and this, it can unfortunately start to cheapen the video. I don't ever use a stock footage shot in an edit. Like I'll use news footage, I'll use historic archival footage, I'll use anything but going to a stock footage website and having somebody jogging on a treadmill smiling. It's always rubbed me the wrong way, and whenever I see it in an edit, it tends to take me out of the experience and it reminds me that I'm watching an edit. I'm certain you have some shot on one of your channels of you measuring your waist or whatnot. We don't want to take you out of the edit and become another generic channel.
The first 2 to 3 days of a fast was the hardest as my body switches to burning fat for energy. And I'm really hungry. Next stop is my IV drip. It's 3 p.m. I've been busy since 8:30. There's really no time to feel hungry.
So you're really hungry. This is going to be the hardest. Let's focus on that emotion because it has more emotional impact than, I'm not really thinking about food, really. The audience does not need to know that you weren't focusing on hunger. It's better to show the decline of energy. You are slowly slowing down and you are slowly getting hungrier over time. The other thing I noticed is the amount of screen time your face has. It allows for such an easier connection to you. The thing is though, we've gone face, 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 face. And then when you deliver that line, face, we can mix it up. It's a better move to cut to the shot of the watch to highlight the passage of time. Fasting is not just this linear process where it's just like, la da 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 da, I'm in fairy tale land. No, time has to pass. You have to suffer for a duration of time. Here's a reminder that time exists because when you're watching a video, time is heavily compressed. So you have to remind the audience there was a time element because if they don't feel that passage of time, they're not going to feel the impact of the duration of your fast. They're not going to feel the weight of it.
I'm quite tired. Ketones, ketones, ketones.
When you say, as you can tell, I'm quite tired, and then start doing a playful chant, it makes me a little confused as the viewer. I'm thinking, well, she doesn't seem so tired, but I really like it. It was such a cute little moment that I want to preserve it. So the best way to do it is to find a time where you aren't visually tired and you seem a bit more excited, a bit lighter. This is where you can play around with time manipulation. One of my favorite parts of editing. Just because something was filmed in a certain order doesn't mean that it needs to be presented in that same order.
I'm quite tired. My ketones measured 5.3.
This highlights better that you're tired because you can't even speak for around 2 seconds. Then
It's the high ketones which are causing the poor sleep because my body is in a more alert and stimulated state. Ketones, ketones.
notice the difference between alerted and stimulated versus tired. Alerted and stimulated perfectly encompasses this. Ketones, ketones.
I suppose because it's in some kind of survival mode.
And I also like the fact that when you say survival mode, your smile sort of drops a little bit. Very good use of facial micro expressions. Now what you're seeing here is one small piece of a much bigger pattern that determines which editors build stable, high-income careers and which ones stay stuck chasing random projects. The editors who build real, lasting careers aren't the ones cutting faster or chasing the latest trend. They understand how to make a creator feel safe handing them the story. I actually had a student named Ashley who did just that.
I went from charging $100 per video to over $350 per video.
Inside Elite Editor Academy, I break down the full system behind that. Not just how to edit, but how to think, communicate, and position your work so clients stay, you start getting paid more, and freelance work stops feeling unstable. If you're serious about becoming the editor clients never want to replace, you can explore the full system through the link in the description.
I'd really like to do this retreat again, so I had an idea. Imagine doing it with a group of my YouTube subscribers. If you're interested in doing a 7-day fast with me at this retreat, I've put a link to register your interest in the description.
So you're probably wondering, where did I move that shot? Probably moved it to the end, right? No, I deleted it. It's gone. I love the fact that it does two things. It shows that you are authentic, and it shows that you want your audience to join this journey with you. The problem is that it uses something called ending language.
I'd really like to do this retreat again.
Which implies that you're done doing the retreat. You don't want the audience to feel like your video is ending until it's literally seconds from ending, because that way they're gonna stay curious and engaged the entire time until it's over. So for that reason, I completely deleted it. I went to the end of your edit just to make sure. And yes, it turned out you did mention right here.
If you want to join me on my next 7-day fast, register your interest via the link in the description.
The type of people that are gonna commit to a multi-day fast are typically gonna have higher discipline, higher motivation, higher willpower, whatnot. So a higher disciplined person is more likely to watch the end of a video that they're interested. So that's a whole 30 seconds saved, and the right people are gonna find that link.
Like I have said in previous videos, what a privilege for me to make the choice to fast.
You started off by saying, and I've said this in a bunch of videos before, you don't want the audience to feel like, oh, I'm telling you this for the 10th time. Unless you're frustrated, then it hits especially hard. But in reflection, it's more so, I'm having this realization for the first time. By simply cutting that line, it kind of adds this nice little novelty factor to it for the audience member, because they're like, oh wow, she has changed as a person. And that's all part of the hero's journey that they always tell you. To make a great story, you gotta have a problem. You wanna do something to fix it. So you go through some struggles. It's not as easy as it looks, but you fix your problem, come back changed, or you don't fix your problem, but you still come back changed. So even though it's not the case, you can imply that this is a sudden realization that you've had while doing this fast. Here's the part I didn't tell you yet. This wasn't just a breakdown for YouTube. Laura watched the feedback and said something interesting. I knew that bit didn't feel right. She actually applied all of the changes, and when she watched the video back, she started having those little aha moments. The rhythm finally felt effortless, and the story just flowed. But you know what pisses me off? Way too many talented editors will watch this, understand it, and still go right back to editing the same way tomorrow. If you don't want that to be you, watch this next. Because once you see the real gap between $300 and $3,000 edits, you can't unsee it.